Hi, and welcome to Preview. My name is Giampapa. Preview.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, cue guy.
I'm really pleased with the guest today. Her name is Elaine Gray, and she's a jack of all trades. I'm going to let her talk about that. Welcome to our show, Elaine.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here today.
Well, you come to tell me about Ray Flynn and the book that he wrote in 2000, the one that's called The Accidental Pope.
That's right.
Tell me something about that. How did your relationship with Ray evolve?
Well, I did some projects with Ray Flynn when he first became mayor.
Yes.
I proposed some projects to him, and we did them together with his department and with him. And so fast forward, years later, I met and worked with, in film, John Fahey.
Yes, I know John.
Yeah, you're both friends.
Right.
And John told me about the book. I had heard about it years ago. I never really got a chance to read it. And John gave me a copy. I read it, and I loved it. It's a novel, and it's a wonderful novel. It's a page turner, and he's written a screenplay since that.
Really?
Yes. And so I'm hoping to be of help with John Fahey, myself, and whoever we can get the word out to have somebody pick up the screenplay and make it a film.
Wow, that is
Yeah,
fabulous.
yeah.
The fact that you've worked in film and you're an actress, you must have a lot of contacts. So I would assume that you will get something going with this.
I'm hoping because it's a great project and it's very timely.
Yeah. Tell me about it. What is the book about?
The book is actually...
I know it's fiction.
It's a fiction,
but
as you read it, you can tell that Ray Flynn, who was our former mayor,
right,
and also the ambassador to the
right,
Vatican,
right,
for the United States, and here it is. It incorporates the information about the conclave and what happens at the accidental pope. Name came about because there was an impasse at the conclave, and somebody, and I'll tell you his name when I think of it, proposes this fellow to be the spokesman and be the pope, and everybody voted for him. So that's how it became.
Was this man one of the cardinals?
The fellow that became the pope. What came from Massachusetts, he was a fisherman.
He was a fisherman, right? Yeah.
But before that, he was a priest. And he met a woman, he fell in love with her, and it happened to be one of the cardinals, Cardinal Kaminsky, I believe it was, and that's the cardinal I was thinking of. And he became the cardinal's niece. And the cardinal said, no, you're going to go, sends her back to the country, her country, and then they end up falling in love and communicating and asking for permission to marry. So they marry, she passes away, they have 4 children, and he gets voted in. They have to announce to him he is now the Pope. Would he accept it?
Let me get this straight. He was a priest, and then he left the priesthood to marry.
Yes.
Had children.
Yes.
His wife passed away.
Right.
And then he went back into the church.
They voted him in as Pope.
Wow.
And so it's
what a twist.
Yeah, it's an amazing story. So he goes, to the Vatican. His children come there. They live there sometimes, and they come back and forth to Massachusetts. So if I could remember the names, it would be really good, wouldn't it? But they end up going out to different countries. The whole basis of the book is social issues. you know, that there needs to be resolve on
Yeah.
social issues, and to put out the word of Christ, put out the word of the gospel, and so that when they travel to other countries. And why it's so timely is because Ray Flynn, as the ambassador, went out with John Paul II,
Yes.
and he went to Africa also. And
He went
so-
to Africa with the Pope.
Right.
Ray Flynn did.
Right.
I remember that.
And Ray Flynn is the author of the book, but also he co-authored it with Robin Moore,
Right.
from the French Connection.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah.
Now, assuming that you've got production, you're going to do this film. Who would you say would be the lead? Any ideas on that?
No, we haven't even talked about that yet because we're too.
That's too far in the
Yeah,
future?
we're too much into trying to think about marketing and
Yeah.
can we get someone to do this movie, and we believe that we can.
Yeah.
So maybe next year it will go out to the AFM marketplace and somebody will pick it up.
Yeah.
And they just had the AFM marketplace now, but the word has to get out. We have to connect with the right people. And I know that there are other people that are also working on it, but John and I wanted to get word out to
Right.
people about it.
Is that the general procedure when after a book is written, and it's the idea is to make it into a movie, you go to the AFM, or are there different ways of doing that?
There are different ways. Sometimes you'll meet a producer and you'll meet a backer. If they hear about it from us, they could come to
sometimes
us.
word of mouth.
But marketing, that was my
Yeah.
forte as when I was in the workplace, other than doing films. I was the marketing director for Sidewalk Sam.
Oh yeah, the artist.
Right.
Right. Okay.
And we did projects with Mayor Flynn at the time.
Yeah.
So that's how we get into it. But I wanted to say that Ed Kirby, who plays the ambassador in the novel, is very similar to, although he lives in Chicago, and
In the
his
book,
wife's
he lives
name
in
is
Chicago?
in the book, and his wife's name is Catherine.
Isn't that Ray Flynn's wife's
I
name?
believe so, yeah.
Yeah.
And so he's placed. You can feel Ray Flynn in the book and in the writing.
And there's nothing
and
wrong with
everything.
that. I mean,
no,
that's
it's
wonderful.
it's wonderful.
It's a great way of doing
because it also gave me insight. I went to Catholic school
it. Yeah.
for 8 years, and the book gave me insight into what happens at the Vatican.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is so intriguing.
Yeah.
You know,
But the social issues that are so important and so relevant to what's going on in the country right now. The book was written in 2000.
yeah, 16 years ago.
It's a parallel universe, though, because you have John Paul at the time and Mayor Flynn in the office as ambassador, and now you come and you had, back then, there was terrorism,
Right.
political terrorism.
Yeah.
There was the AIDS, health issues.
Yes, yeah.
And there was, the social problems.
All these social issues.
Right.
Yeah.
So
So this is very timely.
very timely
Yeah.
because that's what we have now. International terrorism now, more so than the political. It's
Right.
advanced,
Yeah.
but it's the same venues that we're looking at and the same issues, and it's important to look at them and to, history repeats itself.
That's true, it does.
Right. So Pope Francis now is carrying out the same messages and the same platforms that John Paul did, who is now a saint.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
Right.
Let me ask you this, Elaine. Has Ray Flynn, does he have any contact with the Vatican today?
I haven't asked him that. I'm pretty sure nobody ever tries to burn their bridges, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure he has contacts. It would make sense not that you wouldn't have
Right.
lost those connections with people.
I wondered what the reaction would be to this book in the Vatican.
Right.
I mean, in the years gone
Right.
by.
We talked about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's going to be interesting because
Yeah.
I think we're going to be doing that dialogue with them. I am sure Mayor Flynn has already, Ray Flynn now has
probably.
probably already approached them in
With
some
his
ways,
contacts,
but
yeah.
it doesn't hurt to get more import
Oh,
and
always.
export. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just envisioning the future, and this becomes a reality, would be filmed probably in the Vatican.
Yeah.
With the permission of the Vatican.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be great?
It would be fabulous.
wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think it would be a blockbuster. I really do.
I do too. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so timely, and it's so interesting. I couldn't put the book down. It's definitely a page turner, and
In essence,
I'm happy to be able to talk about it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is a novel, and it's a fictional
Right.
story. But I mean, there's
But
the issues that are in it, and it's in reality, it's real life. Mm-hmm. You know, it's.
when I read it, that's how I felt. I said, "Oh, so this is how the
These are the
conclave
things,
works."
yeah.
You know, I mean, as a kid going to kindergarten through 8th grade
Right.
with the nuns and the priests, and always hearing about the Vatican and the Pope, and it was kind of like something untouchable, and you wouldn't know the secrets of it. And it lays it out for you, you know.
You know, we're sitting here and we're talking about this, and you've made plans so far, but where do you stand today with this whole thing?
With you,
Well, I mean,
we're here
Yeah.
presenting to the public.
okay, is this like the start of a
Well-
campaign in a sense?
In a sense, it is, although John did write a review on the book
Yeah.
years ago, and that's still very timely too, because it talks about the issues. That's the main message. Mayor Flynn and Ray Flynn have always thought about the people.
Yes.
Thought about the issues, trying to help people, trying to create. I believe when he was an ambassador or when he came back, he set up like Boston City Hospital for a clinic like for AIDS,
Yeah.
because the AIDS were very
Very dominant.
dominant
yeah,
at that
yes.
time. Now there's other diseases we
Yeah,
have to worry about, you know, but AIDS is still prominent. But so he is a champion of the issues,
Of human
social
rights, yes,
issues,
yeah.
you know, social.
Well, there's no
human
stopping Ray
rights.
Flynn. I mean, after the ambassador, he went on radio. He became a radio host.
That's right.
For a long time. And
That's
then
right.
I've had him on this show I think 3 times he's been on Preview.
Right.
So, and Ray is, he's really for the people.
He's for the people.
very
He's
human
soft-spoken, and you know, I'm an artist. I paint, right?
Right.
I'm the worst one to promote myself as far as my artwork. You know, I mean, that's how a lot of artists are.
Yeah, that's true. yeah.
It's harder to do that. It's better to have other people embrace it and talk about it and help you through the process and whatnot. And that's what John and I hope to do, get some little word out and get other people interested.
Right, yeah.
And we've been doing it for a while now, word of mouth and talking to people and doing a couple of shows. And
Well, with your background, Elaine, I see success.
Good,
I really do.
thank
because
you.
You know so much. You've done so many things.
I'm old. I am
Oh,
here
no,
and
no,
there
you're
and
not.
everywhere.
No.
So, you know, through the years, you end up doing a lot of things
That's
with
true,
your
yeah.
life. You know, my motto was always try to reinvent yourself when you
Yeah.
can, you know, if it's necessary or if you want to. And I've done that completely.
Well, one thing we haven't talked about, the fact that you're also an actor.
That's
and
right.
I've seen your resume, and I'm flabbergasted. The shows, the films that you've been in, and I think the last show that you did was Spotlight, which was an Academy Award-winning show.
That's right.
About the the Boston Globe and how they brought that out. Tell me about that. How did that feel?
Well, it felt wonderful because I had a couple of cameos. I didn't have a speaking role, but I was one of the reporters with another fellow in the Boston Globe, and I also had a cameo with Richard O'Rourke.
Really?
When he played the priest
Yes,
in it.
yeah.
And I was in the school bus scene by myself when Rachel McAdam came, had the door slammed in her face by Richard's sister. Anyway, it was unbelievable to be a part of that and to find out that not only were we Academy Award winners, we were the top winners
Right,
of,
right, yeah.
for the ensemble.
Did you go to the Academy Awards?
I went to the local Screen Actors Guild had a Academy
Oh,
Awards.
yeah, they have one
we
in
went
Boston.
There. But my image with Richard O'Rourke went into the National Magazine as one of the celebrations of Spotlight. So that was really amazing.
I have a copy of the film.
Do you?
Yeah, on DVD, and I'll have to look again. Say, hey, there's Elaine.
Right, right. Well, in the school bus scene, you'll probably have to look really closely. But in the lobby of the Boston Globe, I'm there with a fellow, and I said, oh, he felt like I was Lois Lane and he was Clark Kent. He was a tall fellow.
A lot of it was shot at the Boston Globe, wasn't it?
Yes,
You know,
yes,
on location.
it was.
Well, you've done, how many films have you done?
I've done, I think I'm up to 32 feature
Holy
films
mackerel.
that I worked on. And a lot of them I've been featured in. Bleed for This is coming out this week. And I had a feature role, but I don't know if I'm on the cutting room
Oh,
floor or
yeah, you
not.
never know
I'll
until
find
you
out.
see it.
You never
Yeah,
know till you see it.
yeah.
So I don't tell the family anymore. Yeah, I tell them I'm in it. I hope I'm.
Yeah.
But now
You have to go
I've
see it.
learned I have to go see it first.
Oh. Tell me about some of the other films that you've been in.
I was just in a film with Robert Redford.
Really?
I worked.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I worked 6 days on that. It's called The Discovery, and that will be coming out. It usually comes out in about 9 months a year,
Yeah.
depending on whether it goes straight to the films, to Netflix, to
Oh, yeah,
television.
yeah.
You never know.
Did you have any speaking parts with him?
No speaking parts, but I had a feature. I was featured.
Yeah.
So and that's lucky because a lot of times when you're featured, you end up in the trailer.
Yes, yeah.
And then you
Yeah,
it helps you to get another role
Right,
because
yeah.
you can show that.
They also did, was it The Hustler? Is that one
Oh,
of
I did American
American
Hustle.
Hustler, yeah.
But that was an interesting story because I had been sick that year, and I got a call to would I like to go for a fitting for it? Oh God, yes, I wanted to, but I was very sick. So I had not driven in 5 months, and so I said, yes, I'll go tomorrow. And I took my car, and off I went. And I had a week to get myself, recharge my battery. And I went in, and the moral of the story is I ended up on the cutting room floor.
Oh.
But I went in for the fitting, and they dressed me up for 2 outfits, shoes and everything, and my name was on the door. It really felt good. And then I get in there, and the lead dresser said, no, those outfits aren't right. We're going to dress her up. And they put me in ball gowns, and they put me in furs and jewels.
Wow.
And I had the best recovery. It helped me recover.
I'm sure it did.
I was disappointed when I went to the show, and I only saw like a glimpse of myself somewhere because I had really good, I thought I was going to have a good position, but that's the nature of the business, isn't it?
But you know, not only film, but you've also done theater.
I did theater, yes.
Theater, you've done acting, directing, and producing theater.
Right.
Is that local theater?
I worked in Middleborough with Peg Holtzman at
Oh.
the Alley Street Theater.
Yeah.
And we did Neil Simon play. It was the Prisoner of Second Avenue.
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
And I played Jessie, one of the sisters. And that was really wonderful. And then my other theater experience was teaching high school kids over the summer I was the director for some Shakespeare.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, you got the kids involved in that.
Right, right.
That's quite a thing to get
I
kids.
was hired to be the director. I had just graduated. I had gone for 9.5 years to Harvard, and every time I had a difficult class, I ended up taking, offsetting it with the directing, because I always wanted to do this since I was 12.
No kidding. Wow.
Yeah, so I offset it with acting, directing, things that I loved, and then I could manage to do it as an adult learner. And so when I graduated that year, they hired me to do the directing.
You've had quite a career.
Yeah.
Well, now the big thing in your life is the accidental Pope.
Yes,
And if we
it
get-
is. And I just want, I think it's
Yeah.
Bill Kelly became the Pope, and
Oh,
he
okay.
changed his name to, he wanted to be Francis. He ended up becoming the, when they changed his name, he changed it. Did you read that to Francis?
Yeah, I've read it. Yeah, I have to read it
Yeah.
again.
I just, I was trying to absorb all the facts again this morning, and a couple of them slipped by.
Well, there's so much involved in that.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you, Elaine. I mean,
You too.
the fact that you're an accomplished actress, and now you're working with Ray Flynn on the Accidental Pope. I think this is going to be a great thing in your life. I'm looking forward to hearing
me,
more
it's a
about
great thing to have him back in my life again, because when you meet people that are significant and you've had a run with them, and then all of a sudden, years go by, they
I know,
pass,
yeah.
and then all of a sudden they're back in your life
That's what
again
happens.
somehow.
Well, that's
Yeah.
how it is. Elaine, thank you so much for being our guest
Thank you,
today.
Guy.
It's been a real pleasure.
Yes,
And you keep in touch with us, will you?
I definitely will.
Okay.
I will.
Elaine Gray was our guest today, and I hope you enjoyed the show. Well, my name is Guy Giampapa, and this is Preview, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.